morning, everyone. The title of this session is Hey Pharma, What We're Doing Wrong with Healthcare Professional Engagement. I'm Mehrnaz Campbell, CEO and founder of Cheemia, and I'm really delighted to be joined by my esteemed panel. I've got Andrew Docherty, consultant cardiologist who works for NHS in Scotland. Andrew has a wealth of experience, not only just as a clinical cardiologist, but also he's been involved in driving academia, and also he's led transformational change in changing healthcare systems. Also, I'm joined by Zoran Bahtijarević. Did I say that right? Yeah. He is a very prestigious pediatric surgeon, and he's held various leadership positions, including being the CEO of Zagreb Pediatric Hospital. He also has a huge impact in sports medicine in various leadership roles, but his latest role is Chief Medical Officer for UEFA. So I'm really excited to have you here. Also, I think this is a really great opportunity that you don't often have, to have healthcare professionals, to be able to ask them candid questions and get their perspective on this. So I'm going to invite you. This is going to be an interactive session. I'm going to invite you to ask questions. But I'm going to kick off by asking you questions first. I remind you, no mention any products. You're not allowed to offer any strategy advice. And for you, you can ask any questions, but no football-related questions. Save them for the coffee break, right?
Or rugby.
Yeah. Andrew, you're Scottish.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really candid with you. You're a really busy cardiologist. Why did you bother coming here?
So I saw who were the delegates, and if I'm in a clinic or in the cath lab, I've got one patient that I can kill or save. Or if I'm in the board and I've got 1.2 billion pounds and 10,000 whole-time equivalents to look after, I've got a population of about 600,000. But you guys have got hundreds of millions of people. And you've got products that actually make their lives better or longer. And you've come out of COVID, and I can see what you're doing, and it's not good enough. You need to be better. And you're kind of sitting here today going, oh, AI, AI. And there is a place for AI, but you've come out of a pandemic, and you've just not recovered yet, and you need to do a wee bit better. So I said, I'll come, and you can ask me any question. I'll give you an honest answer.
Thank you, Andrew. I knew I could count on you. So, Zoran, you work in Croatia. So how is the interaction between pharma and healthcare professionals different in Croatia?
Actually, the great opening line I heard yesterday during the opening presentation from Christiana, she said, Croatia is very much like Italy in that sense. Our doctors still prefer human contact rather than the AI, I would say. Even the technologized contacts like WhatsApp, mails, and something like that are not as much as appreciated as the human contact in that sense. And I fully agree with Andy. We have not recovered from COVID, not only, I would say, economically probably, yes, but as a society in social interaction, and we are still suffering this.
You know, I feel your pain because I actually have interaction directly with healthcare professionals. And one of the things I feel I've got more...
Is that painful?
No. It's actually one of the best parts of my day. But I would say I feel, as a pharmaceutical industry, I have a moral obligation not to waste their time. So I would only contact them if I have something of value or relevant to engage with them.
Very valid point. And, you know, very often in my new role, I hear from the new Gen Z procurement guys saying that business is nothing about emotion. So, guys, I have the news to break to you. I don't know if it's a strategic advice or not, but the business is all about emotions, about trust and about knowing the product, knowing the people. And in my career, in many instances, I have chosen the more expensive or less cheap product in that sense, because I knew it's bringing all the other support that is coming behind it, and because I trusted the company, and there was this mutual trust between us, the team in a hospital, and the company. More like a partnership than anything else.
That's really important. Thank you for that, Zoran. So let's have the roving mic. Anybody wants to lead with a question? There we go, Paul, come on. Yep. It's coming.
I have a disclosure. I didn't promise I will answer your question. Honestly, it was Andy.
That's fine.
I'm Scottish.
So we come to these conferences, we have all kinds of debates about what information medical professionals want to get from pharma and how they want to get it. So to cut to the chase, for you two, what's the most important information pharma companies can give you? And of that, what do you want to see somebody for versus receive it online?
Okay, we'll start with the receiving online, because so I go in on a Monday morning, and at 9:02, I receive an email. It's from a company whom I'm working with. I'm doing some, I thought it'd be fun to do I'm a cardiologist, so let's do some respiratory, give myself something that's not cardiology and can I still be successful? We are. And I get this email, and it's about one of their other products that I have absolutely no interest in. And then I get another email from the third product because I signed up to something. Do I sign up to something and you can email me? If you come to my house for dinner, can you send me your brother-in-law next week? So that's starting to really annoy me, that you're sending me stuff and you don't even know if I want that. I don't even know the rep for that product to phone and complain. When I speak to the reps, they go, I didn't give them permission to do that. So there's something to do with your IT, omni-channel. I listened to the omni-channel. No, it's an opti-channel. Did you hear that yesterday? So omni-channel is the noun, and opti-channel is what you do, and opti-channel is not what you're doing right now. Okay? The other part of it was learn my preferences, so I can tell you what my preferences are. Bet you I'm wrong. I bet you my preferences are different from what I say they would be. So you've got to find out what my preferences are and connect with me in a way that doesn't reduce your net promoter score, yeah? Yeah?
I can actually say your preferences are not what you think they are, because when I spoke to you, you said to me my preference was face-to-face, but you were sending me email with pictures, you were texting me, you were sending me messages on LinkedIn, and then we met on Teams.
We did, and then, you've got your diary. You've got a little
I'll
link
send
to
you
your
my
diary.
Calendly link, and you booked an appointment with me.
I'm going to use that. Do other people use this? It's Candly?
Calendly.
Yeah, and you go on it, and then it says, and you just pick your time. Yeah, we don't do that in the NHS.
And from my side, now in my new role in sports medicine, I can tell you that the gadget industry has, I would say, has found sports. Pharma industry not yet. I'm waiting for this moment because pharma industry didn't recognize how much actually medications and drugs is being used in sports medicine. I'm waiting for that moment, but I can tell you I got bombed by these beautiful gadgets that are all claimed to be 99.99% precise, which I know it's BS. So what I would like to hear from you guys is truth. Okay, I don't want to see the article that you are attaching to this promotion article that is written by the guy that you paid, who was part of development and who is completely biased to say this gadget works 90.999%. It's not true. But if you tell me it works 80%, but we need you, let's establish something, like let's do the clinical trial, help us to do it, then I would do. And then finally, everybody considers UEFA is a golden cow. Well, it's not. We don't have money as many gadgets are in the world to pay all of them.
The other thing is that when you come with your phase 3 trial and your registration, what you present to me, I perceive it in my context. You don't know what my context is. You've got no idea of what my context is. But your local field guy does. Your local field guy can get access to me if he's got data that's going to meet an unmet need for my patients. He can present it to me in my context. And you may get some AIs in the future that would be useful. What could be useful for him? Useful for him would be AI working out the network of people that I know, so he can hit all of them before he comes to speak to me, so that when I go and speak to my trusted advisors, they give me his message. You could do that with AI. You could do that now. I speak to him and I say, why did I speak to the guy in head office and he doesn't know I spoke to you yesterday and what we said? He's got his CRM. Do you know, what are the 2 reasons they don't put stuff in the CRM? You asked the question, why do you think folk don't put information in the CRM?
It's just tedious to do.
Tedious to do? No. It's because when they were younger, they put in things like adverse events and were punished, or they put in a discussion that was off-label and they were punished, and therefore they simply put in the minimum data set that doesn't get them punished. Okay? So I want my guy to have as much information about me so that when the head office guy phones me about a 300-person webcast I'm doing, I'm not repeating myself. Yeah? Why can't you put a little AI in front of Salesforce? That it's a natural language AI. It filters what's permissible. And what's going into Salesforce then becomes clean. The data becomes better data, and it becomes cleaner data. And you can get insights from that data that are better. And that's like really cheap and easy.
And make it audio so you can actually talk to it. You don't have to type.
You could do it in the car as you're driving. I just spoke to Andrew. He said blah, blah, blah.
Sales team hate admin, but they quite like talking. So if you make it that they talk it, they get all the admin done.
Well, that's what we have in common, doctors and salespeople. We hate admin as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I'm going to give you a concept. Yeah, we'll get a question. Yeah.
Dan.
Look, you put your hand up.
Yeah, no, I did. I was just,
Yeah.
didn't want to
You won the bid.
Yeah. Right. Thanks for all the authentic answers, but I appreciate that it's probably pretty annoying to get product information when you didn't ask for it. And you also talked about, not knowing my preferences or not knowing what I'm all about, right? So I was just wondering what you think industry could do to start, because obviously a product conversation could be relevant at some point, but how do you get to a point with either a rep or a brand or a business where you feel you're open to an authentic conversation about, what can they do to establish trust with you in the first place? Does that make sense, the question?
Yeah.
How did you, that rep that you like,
Yeah.
what did they do? Because they obviously didn't, knock on the door and start talking about a product because you do not wanted that. What did they do to establish a trusting relationship? And is there something that people who are doing digital communications could take from that?
Okay. So why did I send the text on WhatsApp to the respiratory guy with a Costco ring that's 1.5 carats, that's £10,000, that he's going to propose to his girlfriend with when she wants to buy a dog, because that's how committed she is. And I'm like, yeah, the reason is this. He came to me and he's a pharmacist and he could have taken an easy life. But he's bet it all on, he thinks he's going to be good at working for Pharma. And he's struggling a little bit, but he's going to be really good. He will be really good because I've seen guys come through. And so I go, I'm older now, and I go, it's about the same age as my kids. He's put his life on, he's bet on himself. And he's going to make some mistakes, and how can I kind of stop him making mistakes? And I've kind of liked that. It's like, why did the gods like the mortals? Not quite, that's conceited, but they liked other people struggling and being successful. So I liked him being struggling and successful. And he wasn't in my bloody, my drug area, my lungs, not mine. That's been great fun, because I've been trying to work out how can I drive sales to reduce risk in respiratory patients.
And also from my side, I can tell you, completely agree with this. I mean, for the most of the guys that I had, I was working 30 years in a hospital. 20 of these 30 years, I was chief of OR, so basically the person who was ordering all the stuff for the OR, biggest spender in the hospital. Most of the people I was working with, and they were changing over the time, we had this very personal relationship. I felt this passion that Andy was talking, emotions, and they were not afraid to open to me even their personal life in that sense. Also, they supported, they asked me, how can we help you? Rather than, this is a product, but they also showed the way to help. So I can tell you that generations of young surgeons were trained by these companies, which Croatia is not one of these blessed countries in which hospitals have a huge funds for education. So education is about basically self-paid by the doctors. So these companies train the young surgeons for future, and that brought this loyalty. They would openly come to me and say, look, our company is a bit in a problem now, can you help us out? Yes, I can. Because you helped me out when I was in the trouble.
So it's a lot of human
touch.
emotion. Any more questions from the floor? Don't be shy, we've got another minute.
Anyone do cardiovascular? Who's cardiovascular in the room? Yeah, quite a few. So I'll give you an example. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the insights and how good this is going to be. It's good. I mean, if I had to do that, I'd go to Pocock in London School of Hygiene, and he can kind of do this single data point data, get all the data together, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to give you a problem. The problem is this, that the duration of therapy for an antiplatelet is only 6 months, and I want it to be a year. I also know that there's another product that I use in the cath lab, short, just for 24 hours, that saves lives at 1 year, but increases my stent thrombosis rate, and I put in stents. I choose not to use the life-saving treatment because I don't want blame for the stent thrombosis. That's illogical. There's an emotional component to that, yeah? I should be doing the thing that gives me the 1 year mortality. I shouldn't be avoiding the thing that gives me a 1 day bleeding risk. I take that and I look at that information and I realize that cardiologists don't want blame for stent thrombosis. You then link that to what happens if you stop your antiplatelet therapy at 6 months instead of 1 year. You get some stent thrombosis. I've then got, could you give me some registry data for stent thrombosis at 6 months? Yes. That gets presented. The duration of therapy goes from 6 months to a year. That goes from $3.5 billion a year to $7 billion a year. There's quite a few steps there that AI wouldn't get, and you'll say, okay, AI would get it. The AI got the go move. It would find a way. But even if it got to the last hurdle, that product, which you can't name, didn't have a license for stents, so it couldn't have presented it to you because it would have been out of label use. So there's still going to be a need for your ad boards and your medical teams and your marketeers. There's some tools here. Even your agent AI guy is saying at the very end that it has to give it to a human to rebrand it, yeah? Maybe he'll rebrand it and give it more insight as well. So the human marketeers amongst you definitely still have a job, irrespective of the AI tools you're going to use.
And you probably could do with advice like people like you to be able to...
No, I'm not available.
Not today, not today. But thank you so much. Any more questions? No? We've got only 2 minutes. So
there's one there.
Lady there.
Quickly,
Yeah.
go on.
I would like to ask you, first of all, thank you so much. It's very valuable to see you here. So, I would like to ask you about just a really minor question about the contents that you prefer. Once we're just talking about the digital and two-way communication, the human touch, what type of contents that you're more likely to keep in touch in two-way communication, which is a human touch? What type of contents that you're more likely to discuss, maybe, or just to see via emails or digital channels? So if you have got some segmentations on your mind around the content, that would be great too.
Thank you. Make a quick answer.
Yeah, so that's shifting. So I could do a local meeting, and there would maybe be 30 people there. The meeting that I'm doing in 2 hours is webcast of 350 people on it. So if you've got a message that's working locally, people are now willing to tune into that very, very quickly, and you can expand that very, very quickly. The information I need is I need the endpoint for the trial. I need the mortality data because you can't fiddle that. They're dead or they're not dead. Composite endpoints, yeah, okay, I'll start to dissect it, and you and I might have an interesting argument, and then subgroups with forest plots. So I'm kind of looking at the data, and then I'll help you get it through the barriers to being on formulary so that I've got access to it.
And for me, I can say, I usually used to say that I was working with children and football players so long that my attention span became like theirs, 30 seconds. So I have attention span of a goldfish. Make me interested in 30 seconds. After that, you can send me any email you want. Just keep them brief.
Thank you, Zoran. I hope that answered your question. I'm going to say, stay with me, thank you. I want to say thank you to Zoran and thank you to Andrew for the candid feedback and also for all of you to ask questions. I hope you found this an insightful discussion because it gives you an opportunity to see healthcare professionals' perspective from the other side of the table. Thank you.
Thank you.